What's up, metalheads? Welcome to the Lunatics of Metal. I'm your host, JT, and with me are my longtime buddies over here. We got Jimmy.
Jim.
Appa. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Awesome.
Good.
Talk about some thrash metal.
Thrash. Yeah, that's what we do. We like to talk about music. We like to talk about ourselves. Hey, we're like that. Good times over here. What you guys been up to here lately?
Just doing housework.
Man, we're fucking boring old fuckers.
Yeah. Keep it on. I just got done celebrating the 4th, so
nice.
Had good times.
You got all your fingers?
Yeah, I'm no longer Chubbs Peterson.
Yeah, there you go. Hell yeah. I don't have to worry about that. I don't light fireworks anymore. I let somebody else light them for me. It's funny, you reach a certain age in your life where you're just like, I really don't want to fucking do that anymore.
I still like doing it. I just don't want to waste that much money to go up and smoke.
Right. Absolutely. And God, it's gotten so crazy. I haven't been to a fireworks tent in forever, but I was seeing some of the prices on the news and shit. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, I remember, 10, 15 years ago, you could buy a whole box of, like, artillery shells for, $50. They're showing them on the news. They're like 500 now. I'm like, oh, my God. That shit's ridiculous,
Yeah,
those
my
little
wife,
small cake things,
My wife had a coworker who spent $1,200 just on fireworks this year.
Jesus.
And there was one that it was a single use light up that was $380 or something.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Yeah, and
yeah.
She's like, that's a car payment for a lot of people.
I can't do it, man.
I love fireworks, but I just like going somewhere and watching somebody let off fireworks, and then I'm not buying them.
Yeah. I don't even really do that anymore. Like, we've got a big park here in town, and it's owned by the Lions Club, and they do a huge fireworks display, and they actually do a big carnival that around the 4th every year, and but it's all culminated by a huge fireworks display at the end of the night, and I honestly I can just barely see the fireworks on the horizon from my house, so I just look out the window. Yep. There goes a firework. All right, go back to the TV.
Sit in your easy chair with a drink.
Yeah.
They have a big party at my old neighborhood, and they have a big firework. Chrissy and Jared's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually go over there and watch the fireworks and sneak out.
Nice.
Really pull up, literally, and watch the fireworks and then leave.
Yeah, but you live in a pretty cool area. Like right there by the lake and everything. So.
My local airport does a really good show every year where they like jam music and all sorts of stuff, have bands and come out. So
hell yeah.
I went to that this year. It lasted probably 25, 30 minutes. And it was funny because there's a pond where they light all this over the top of in case, something goes south.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to figure out why. And by the end of the show, there was all this smoke from all the lighting and the firework off. And they were doing classic rock, and I'm sitting there going, why is nobody playing Deep Purple? I mean,
yeah,
it should have been a no-brainer, but nobody thought to do it.
Right. One of the last times I used to go up and shoot off fireworks with my brother-in-law all the time, and one of the last times I did that with him, we were setting off artillery shells, and one of our buckets fell over. And we sent an artillery shell right into the audience.
Oops!
Them things are amazingly big when they blow up on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was the size of the house. I was like, oh my God!
Nice.
You should have seen women and children scrambling. It was a bad deal. Luckily, nobody got hurt. So, and we didn't set nothing on fire. I have seen people do that though. Set the rest of their fireworks on fire with one of them things.
Oh yeah. That's pretty fun to watch.
That's always a fun video to watch. But anyway, hopefully you guys all had a good 4th, and hopefully you've been around and got to listen to some metal. We're always listening to
watch some of that Sabbath show too.
Yeah. Dude, that would have been a huge thing to go see. It was kind of crazy. Me and my buddy Clint, we went, kind of a funny story, Sunday, which would have been the 6th, so the big Black Sabbath show was on the 5th. Clint and I went on Sunday. We went to St. Louis and saw Ginger. Of all things, they were opening for Baby Metal, so it was kind of funny. We paid for our concert tickets. We went and saw Ginger and then left. It was the coolest concert experience ever. I was, I'm 2 hours away from the venue, and I was home. I pulled in my driveway at 11:15.
Damn.
We are getting old.
It was pretty sweet, dude. Ginger played second. They started at 8:00, and they were done by 9:15. And as soon as they were done, we left.
I did that one time before at Riverport. Whenever we got free tickets to go see Rat and Poison, and I was like, "Cool." So I went to go watch Rat, and then we left.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Because me and none of my friends like Poison.
Yeah,
I did that with the show. Trivium was headlining, and I'm not a big fan of Trivium, and I listened to like 1 or 2 songs and then left.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for us. We weren't a big fan of either band that was, any of the other bands. The band opening was a band called Bloody Wood, and then
I've heard of them.
They were from New Delhi, and
I've heard them on Sirius.
And I got to tell you, they had the crowd going, and they had their music was pumping and shit, but most of what they were doing was a backing track, and I just wasn't too, keen on that, but
me either.
I mean, they were still up there playing, but they had a fucking crazy backing track going the whole fucking show, and that's
kind of like Static X does that too, and that's their click track.
Yeah. But this was different though. It was actually part of the song, but I don't know. It was just weird. They were good, but not nothing. I'm not going to go out and buy their stuff, But, and then Ginger played, which was the highlight for me. I fucking absolutely love Ginger. And then, of course, we left, but then it was Black Veil Brides and then Baby Metal, and I wasn't interested in either one of those. So,
yeah, I would have left.
It was funny. I saw our good buddy Garrett Enlow there. And if you guys haven't checked him out,
he has a house.
Garrett put out this killer book about Mississippi Nights. Absolutely phenomenal read. If you're from St. Louis or even want to know a little bit about St. Louis, Mississippi Nights was our premier music venue back in the day. It closed, club, yeah. It closed a long time ago, and has since been tore down and stuff. But
it's a parking lot now.
Yeah, this book is absolutely phenomenal. It's chock full of interviews with bands and just walk down memory lane. Anybody from St. Louis should own that book. But anyway, I ran into Garrett out there, and him and I talked for a long time. And he was actually there to see Baby Metal. He goes, don't laugh. He goes, I saw him a few years ago, and I kind of got into him. He said it was almost like a train wreck. I couldn't look away. And he said, now I actually like them. I like watching their show. They're kind of cool to watch, and I'm like, okay, dude. I caught
them at Riverport. I can't remember what the show was, but they were on the side stage, like in the middle of the afternoon before they really got big.
Okay.
And I was watching them, going, I don't get it. I was just like, so I watched about 2 or 3 songs, and then I just turned around and left and went to another part of the venue.
It's an interesting take. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't. I don't care for them.
I don't hate them. I just don't get it.
Right. And that's kind of how I am. I've seen some of their videos. I do think it's weird. Like, they do a lot of stuff with other bands. Like, they did a deal with Slaughter to Prevail, which was kind of interesting to me. Yeah. So anyway, we ended up leaving and had a good time. So yeah.
Slaughter to Prevail.
Yeah.
I've seen them before. They're pretty tight live.
I've seen them once.
I want to say Sounds of the Underground.
I don't even remember. It may have been like a Mayhem Fest or something.
I thought it was Pops, but
that may have been what it was. I remember seeing that they were like an opening band or something. Mm-hmm. They weren't the main draw whenever I saw them. I don't even remember who they were with. That's just like In This Moment, the first time, I don't know how you guys feel about them, but anyway, the first time I saw them, they opened up for Devil Driver at Pops.
I was there for that.
And dude, Maria Brink walks out on stage in this little white tutu, and she's like, "Hey, we're in this moment," and then they fucking kick off, and she's fucking just screaming them. I'm like, "Holy fuck, dude! Where'd this chick come from?" And I picked up a couple of their albums, and I kind of dig them. I listen to them. They're in rotation on my iTunes at work. That Blood album that they've got is fucking killer, dude, killer. But anyway, we're not here to talk about In This Moment. We're here tonight to talk about the mighty Overkill. Overkill. Whether you're a fan or not, Overkill's done a lot for the metal scene. They've been around forever. It's crazy when you look at a band like Overkill and you see how much they've done. It's really mind-boggling, but give you a little synopsis here. Overkill is an American thrash metal band formed in 1980 in New Jersey. They have gone through many lineup changes, leaving bassist D.D. Verney and lead vocalist Bobby Blitz Ellsworth as the only remaining original members. The band's current lineup includes Verney, Ellsworth, Dave Linsk on lead guitar, Derek the Skull Taylor on rhythm guitar, and Jeremy King as a touring drummer, along with Nuclear Assault and Anthrax, the latter of whom would feature one-time Overkill lead guitarist Dan Spitz. The band is one of the most successful East Coast thrash metal bands, and they are often called the Motorhead of thrash metal.
I've heard that. Because they've been around forever. They got like 20 albums out, and they just keep...
Yeah, it's that's what really blows my mind is when you look at their discography. They have 20 studio albums. 20.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Crazy, man.
That is a lot, and most of their stuff is written by D.D. Verney. Is what I was saying.
But before this record, not so much.
Okay.
On this record, he only has like 2, maybe 3 song credits.
Okay.
And there's actually outside songwriters on this one because he hadn't come into his own yet.
I gotcha.
Because before that, it was Bobby Gustafson that was doing the chief songwriting.
Right, yeah.
And then they had a falling out, which I'm friends with Bobby on Facebook, and I see him posting every so often. And there's been a lot of rumblings lately for some reason. He's still unhappy with them. So,
really?
Whatever...
Yeah.
It all boils down to...
Do we know what happened there?
I know the incident that caused the initial split, but from the report that I saw about it was there was this one show that they would play in, I want to say Jersey or New York, but that market back in the day on New Year's. And they didn't have anything to promote at the time, and it was more or less going to be a cash grab show. And he was against it because it was a cash grab. And that's whenever Dee Dee and Bobby wanted to do it, and that's where the split happened. But I'm sure there was other stuff besides just that. And then Gustafson pretty much was like, well, you're going to have to find another guitar player if you want to play that show. Right. And they did. And then they ended up just moving on without him.
I heard something, too, where something about maybe the royalties or something, or there's something up with that, where Bobby's been pissed off about that.
That's been what's in the latest rumblings that I've seen too.
Okay. Well, and that happens a lot with bands. I mean, look at what happened with, I hate to say it, but look at what happened with Slayer and Dave Lombardo. It was the same kind of thing. SOD, yeah.
Did you see the more recent video or interview with Billy Milano?
So I've watched part of that. I haven't seen all of it though, but
I'm sure Charlie and Scott.
I'm sure he made himself vocal.
Yeah, if that's true, man, it's shitty what they did. If Billy's correct, supposedly they got him, cut him out of all the royalties and shit, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not right if that's the case.
No, absolutely not. It was funny. I've seen little bits and pieces of that. Who was the guy that did that?
I forgot the guy's name, but I've seen the whole interview. It's pretty
I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But I follow the guy on, is it Roadkill or something like that?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Billy being Billy.
Dee by the way, Dee also did that recent, Cadillac 50s.
I was going to say he's in a rockabilly type band.
And Bobby posted something on that.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, like
Dee Dee Verney and the something Cadillacs?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And
I did not know about that.
So he put that picture of his ad mat for that, and he goes, "This is the guy who kicked me out of my own fucking band." He goes, "And look at what he's doing now." Which Bobby was in Violence also for a minute too here recently, but I think it was something that they needed a name at the time, and before Violence kind of imploded.
I was trying to find the Dee Dee Verney thing.
Yeah, it's been out for over a year now.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, he actually did a whole interview about it on Trunk Show that I heard back whenever it was new. He was talking all about how that's the stuff he grew up on and all that type of stuff.
Dead Nation's got it. Yeah,
I haven't heard it.
I didn't really hear it, but he showed me.
So he used to play for a band called Rat Skates.
Oh, Rat Skates is the drummer.
Rat Skates. I'm sorry. Rat Skates is a drummer. What was that? New Providence High School, blah, blah, blah. Wow, that's crazy. I never knew about any of this. Look at that. I didn't do my research.
We're getting old. The memory's failing.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Anyway. Oh, is it called Dreadful Company?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Because it says he's got two solo albums. He's got two solo albums, and one of them's called Dreadful Company.
I don't know.
Okay, now it's got me screwed up here.
I don't know.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Work outside of Overkill.
Deanie Verney Cadillac Band. Deanie Verney and the Cadillac Band is what it's called.
Okay, there you go. I knew it was something like that, but like I say, it had been a minute. Yeah, Dreadful Company, I think, might be the name of the actual record for that band, because that's last year.
There's a new album coming out in September.
Dude,
I like his logo. His logo is pretty cool. It's kind of like a Vegas-esque.
Yeah, it's all like 1950s.
There's a bunch of video and stuff on here. Yeah, dude, I might have to check this out. Yeah.
I'm getting vibes of Reverend Horton Heat off of it, but I haven't heard it, so.
See, and I get into that kind of stuff, man. I might be into that.
You never know.
Never, ever.
You never know what I'm going to get into.
No.
But anyway.
But Horoscope is the first record without
Horoscope
Bobby
is what
Gustafson
we're talking
playing.
about. What was that?
Said Horoscope is the first record without Bobby Gustafson being the guitar player and songwriting presence.
And they had to replace him with 2 guitar players.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty bad when you got to be replaced by 2 guitar players.
Well, I think they just wanted to go that direction
Yeah,
also.
I know. I'm just kidding.
But they used the same producer, though, from the record before to this one, which a lot of metalheads will know, a guy named Terry Date.
Yes.
And this is before he really broke famous with doing the Pantera stuff. Which...
Terry Date, for you guys that don't know, has worked with Metal Church, Dream Theater, Soundgarden, Overkill, Pantera, Dark Angel, Prong, White Zombie, Deftones, Slipknot. Yeah.
He's got a nice little pedigree.
Yeah. He's got album credits, producing credits going all the way back to Metal Church's original album to Jesus.
It's a laundry list, dude.
Yeah, Reinventing the Steel. Wait. What the hell? Oh, they did a 20th anniversary edition. I was like, why does that say 2020 on it? They did a 20th anniversary. Oh shit, he produced Repentless from Slayer.
Like I said, laundry list. Soulfly, I mean, Ozzy, even he's worked on some of his catalog work, so.
Yeah, hell yeah. Soulfly. He's
Which
been around the
I
block.
think he's pushing 70, so I'm thinking he's probably, I would say, in retirement age phase at this point, where he's probably just picking whatever he really wants to work with, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's earned it. He's earned
Definitely.
it. But Horoscope is the 5th studio album by Overkill, released on September 3rd of 1991 through Atlantic and Megaforce Records. It was the first Overkill album to feature the duo of guitarists Merrick Gant and Rob Canavino. And the last to be released through Megaforce. Although they remained on Atlantic until 1995, like its predecessor, The Years of Decay, Horoscope was produced by Terry Date. The album's cover was also the first to display the band's logo in a different color, which is orange instead of green. Wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I like the green.
It's become
and I'm a big fan of orange. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of orange, but I like the green better.
And the album cover simply has their mascot Charlie on it.
That cover, but the original cover wasn't that.
No, I get it.
See, this is the one I got.
That's the original cover, which is what we have for our backdrop.
Well,
here.
I don't know if this is the original. My cassette had a different picture.
No, the original one's an actual. It's like a guy looking over a crystal ball or something.
Yeah.
It's right
I'm looking at that picture here.
This is the original cover that was on my cassette.
Okay, so that's the original cover there.
But on subsequent releases, it's just been Charlie for some reason. I don't know why they do that.
Cover I had on cassette, and you see Dee Dee's beautiful curly
fro
locks. That's awesome.
Yeah,
like
that he doesn't have anymore.
Hey, there's a lot of us missing some of that. So.
Yeah. I've still got all mine. I got to shave it off every now and then.
Yeah, but it's like whenever I look for it anywhere, that's what pops up now instead of that other album cover. Yeah. I don't know why that is.
I like this cover better anyway because I
do too.
This logo. I have the shirt with I just
right.
But yeah, if you didn't know, the name of the mascot is Charlie.
Yeah, I did.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Like Eddie, they gave him a name, and it's a total Jersey.
Charlie.
I'm not exactly sure where they got it, but that's just what they call it.
I actually have this same picture in my my shed, my man cave.
Nice.
A little poster of this.
Nice.
I love that Avenged Sevenfold logo.
Yeah. That's funny because I remember Overkill had that shirt.
Get your own fucking logo. They had a shirt that said that.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fuck yeah. Looks like I just looked at the chart here. This thing was on the U.S. Top Heat Seekers Billboard chart. It peaked at 29.
It did well for them. I think this might have been their highest selling release, to be honest. But I'm not 100% on that.
I'm sure at the time it was. I remember when this album came out, and it was an extremely popular.
Oh, yeah. I had this shortly after it was out.
Yeah, even people that weren't Overkill fans before got turned on to them because of this album. And honestly, if you look at it, now granted, I've listened to this album 2 or 3 times over the past couple days, but looking down through the track list, there's not a bad song on here. I mean,
even
there's
the cover.
really not.
Yeah, the Frankenstein cover is kind of like I could take it or leave it, but they
exactly.
do a good job on it.
Exactly.
But
it's not bad. It just,
I like that interpretation.
I'm not big on covers on albums.
If you were going to rank your least favorite song on this album, I'd have to go with Frankenstein.
For sure.
I'd agree with that.
But I like it, But yeah, it definitely.
The way this album even opens up,
Yeah.
It's got that kind of a slow build with Coma, and then just finally just crushes.
Dude, to me, the Overkill is a great band. Like none of their albums are bad, but the first 5 are my favorite.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I love the first 5. Feel the Fire, Taking Over, and everything. Under the Influence, Years of Decay. I think this would be my number 1 if I had to pick one album. This would maybe be my number 1.
Oh. Absolutely.
I know it's kind of crazy because I love the other ones before, too, but they're right there too. But this one, I would have to give the Nudge as my favorite.
Same.
Yeah, it's funny because we talked about not doing the best album from a band. When we started talking about doing this show,
this is not the most popular one,
and this by far is. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. This is the best album they ever put out. I mean,
I would agree.
In my mind,
I mean, most people would.
And I like a lot of their stuff, man. I even like their new stuff, They don't
have a bad album.
No. I don't know if you guys have listened to Scorched much, but I listened to it
quite a little bit before.
Yeah. I've listened to it quite a bit over the past, couple of years or whatever, and it's really damn good, It's very well produced.
But like most people, if you watch other YouTube things or whatever, they pick either Feel the Fire, Taking Over, or Years of Decay. It's usually one of those 3. Right? And I love those 2, but this one,
that generation before us though will always pick one of the first 3 records. They always do.
But, absolutely.
Great,
But this one's really got the most amount of talking points because they had the most amount of upheaval in the band, the most commercial success.
Right.
And it was a good time to be in thrash metal. This was, 89, 90, right?
This is 91, so this was really right at the end of this is when thrash metal was really dying.
Going down, yeah.
If not dead, it was dying.
I know, it was 89, 90, 91 was that whole section whenever it was kind of at its peak.
Yeah.
Well, and look at what they did in those years. Fucking Under the Influence, the Years of Decay, Horoscope, I mean...
Yeah.
They were pounding out the fucking heavy hitters. While
I would put Years for my number 2.
Me too.
I would put Years as my number 2 also.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But my number 3 is kind of like Feel the Fire, Taking Over. It depends on the day.
I would go Under the Influence. It's for me, I almost go backwards, except I would put Taking Over behind Feel the Fire.
See, the top 5, the first 5 are my favorite, but Under the Influence would be my number 5. I like it, but I like the other 4 better.
And I even like the Covers record.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's
Cover
still cool to listen to.
All their albums, like, even the ones that are my least favorite, they're solid. They're not bad.
They're not, they're not bad. They're not bad. Yeah. They're just...
And they've never had bad production on their stuff. Some's been better than others, but, it's like it's always been listenable, and it still holds up.
Absolutely. It was funny whenever I first started listening to them because I got into them like during Taking Over, whenever I started listening to them, it took a while for me to get, you know, Bobby's voice really fucking, I don't want to say it grated on me. It was just different, you know?
Yeah.
But then I got used to it, and now I can't imagine him without him, you know?
All right. When I first got into Overkill, it was 89, so Years of Decay was the new one.
Years of Decay, yeah.
And again, I'm going to go back to this a lot on this podcast, but Jim, when I met Jim my freshman year, 89, 90, I got exposed to a lot of I remember you made me like a blank cassette tape with a bunch of random songs from, you know.
Sure.
Same with Testament. He made me a
Oh, you made him a mixtape.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of my first Overkill and stuff was from him. And then I
like
went got the albums.
He's still around.
Yeah,
yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
Because, like I said, before I met him, I had Anthrax and Metallica, and I was aware of other bands like this from magazines, but I never. And when I met him and his brother had all kinds of shit, so I'd go over there with blank tapes and just be like, bam, bam, you know, discovering all kinds of shit because of him, and, you know, the Hard and Heavy video and all the shit. Headbangers Ball and all, you know.
Well, and that's like, see, and I had the same thing with Steve Russell, you know, Steve Russell and Jerry Markram and them guys, you know, because before I started really hanging out with them guys, I had like Rat and Motley Crue, and you know, I mean,
everybody always has that one person or somebody in their life that opens the door to certain.
Yeah,
well, and it's rare that you just start with Slayer. Usually you progress there.
Right.
You go from
and
then him, and then when I met Harry in like 91 or whatever it was, then I met the Greg and Scott Jude, and then it opened my door with death metal and you know other metal, more underground shit. And so him and Harry and the Judays.
Yeah.
Harry and the Judays.
Sounds like a good name.
That was the mic, and they opened doors for a lot of my shit.
That could have been a band title, Harry and the Judays.
Yeah. No, it's good. But yeah, that was
missed opportunity.
People that opened doors for, you know, my world. Music from me.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I remember a friend of a friend who was same age as my older brother came over with Taking Over and was jamming the thing at a friend's house in his car outside. And I was just like, who is this? And he let me look at the thing and everything. So I went home and talked to my brother about it. And he's like, yeah, I've heard of him. He goes, I don't really know much about him. This would have been probably 85. It was Taking Over. And
87.
85.
87.
Taking Over was 87?
Mm-hmm. Feel the Fire was 85.
Yep. Yeah, Feel the Fire was 85.
I thought Feel maybe it was, because I was thinking that was 84. Okay. Well, anyway, like right after that came out. So I would have been 6th or 7th grade at the time.
Yeah.
And went home and talked to my older brother about it, who was driving at the time and in high school. And then next thing you know, he comes back with 2 or 3 of their tapes, because he was just buying stuff like crazy. And loved all of it, you know, and then just kept following them from that point on.
Yeah.
But
back in 85, I was listening to breakdance music. I didn't even know nothing about hard rock or metal at that point.
That was Alfonso Ribeiro and his home video showing you how to break dance.
He was watching Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. I was into that shit
Turbo.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was into it, but then when I discovered hard rock in 7th grade, it was just like...
You were like, fuck them pussies.
And metal, and I still like old breakdance music, but I think it's nostalgia.
Me too.
It's all nostalgia, I think.
Dude, some of that popped up not too long ago. Like I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard any of that shit in a long time.
I got the Breaking soundtrack on vinyl.
Yeah, dude, that movie, I remember when it came out, it was so good, dude. So good.
It's so cheesy,
everybody was into break dancing. You watch that shit now and you're like, what
it's
the
so cheesy.
Fuck?
It's all street. We're like, we'll get them turkeys. You know, it's all cheesy. But me and my brother watched those two all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And we were into the break dancing.
Then, of course, there was Bruce Leroy.
Leroy!
Yep. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. God,
he's got to glow.
What was that? Fucking
Bruce Leroy was a show. It was a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was a movie. They did breakdancing in it.
Breakdancing in it?
Yeah.
God, what was the name of that movie?
Because it was on a television dance show, like a American Bandstand for black people.
I used to watch it. Bruce Leroy.
Vanity
was Channel 11.
Romantic lead. Show enough.
I see him on Channel 11.
The Last Dragon is what that was.
That's the title. The
Yeah.
name was escaping me.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it.
That's a classic.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's right up there with Big Trouble in Little China.
And it's like so cheesy when you watch it nowadays because
But I love them old cheesy movies. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
that's nostalgia, you know.
But yeah, man, Overkill, what a great band. 20th album, they're still out doing it. They've never let up.
Yeah, they're still, it was kind of weird. Like they did their last tour they were on. Dee Dee Verney had to have shoulder surgery or something, and so they went out on the road. And I know that Dave Ellefson played a lot of the dates for them down in South America. I don't know that he played a lot of their dates because it's really weird. If you go to Overkill's Wikipedia page right now, there is a picture of them on stage in 2024, and there's a bass player playing for them that I do not know who this guy is.
Okay.
I don't recognize him, so I don't know. And there's no description on here either.
You know another thing about Overkill that there's a connection between us? So, me and Jim first met you when you guys played a show together, and we were opening for Overkill.
Yeah, that was on the Killing Kind tour. In fact, God, I used to have the poster for that. I remember they had signed the poster for us. And you know what? Maybe Mikey ended up with that. I bet Mikey ended up with that.
You should ask him for it back.
It was the poster from the Killing Kind,
tour.
Yeah, it was the poster that was John Green still running Bernard's at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a poster that John had on the wall, and they pulled it off the wall, and of course we didn't get to meet any of them, but one of their production people or something took the poster down to their dressing room, and they all signed it for us. So it was kind of cool.
I do remember that they wouldn't let us sell our merch at that show.
Yeah,
we were pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Unless they got
at the time, we didn't have any, so it didn't really affect us that much.
Yeah, they wanted to cut, and we were like, "Fuck that!" And we told the crowd we'll be selling them outside.
Yeah. And we did well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they came through on this record to the Metal's Edge in St. Louis, which is the local venue. I never went to it.
No, I think Harry went to this
one.
Dude, Harry
went to that one and told me all about it.
That's when they locked their keys, didn't they?
And
that place was very small, and the stage was about 2 or 3 inches off the floor.
Yeah.
They basically had a chain or a rope or something that basically cordoned the band off, from what I heard.
I'd never been to that place either.
Yeah, well, it's not around anymore. I went there a few times for different
It was closed, I think,
stuff.
before we were even at shows.
93 was when I first started going to smaller club shows. 367 was my first.
Right.
Same.
And it's funny. Everybody used to hang out at 367. For me, 367 was a long ways away. I only got to go to 367 a few times.
It was even longer for us.
Yeah.
It was even farther for you guys. But I was there for that last the Sepultura show, and
I didn't. My mom wouldn't let me go to that one.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even hear about that one until
I knew about that one, but
it was Thanksgiving night.
Sold out, I think, 2,000 people or something in that old movie theater. Pantera did the same thing.
Yeah.
Which that's another show I wish I could have been at.
Yeah, I don't know why that place closed because it was packed every time you were there.
The roof was falling in.
Is that what was going on?
That was another thing too when I met Harry and all that crew. That's when I first got aware of all these shows, like the smaller shows.
Right.
I didn't know about them until,
Yeah.
I just didn't know about that stuff.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, though. The first time I saw Overkill live was at that show we opened up for them. I had never seen them live
I had
to
seen
that
them
point. Now I've seen them 3 or 4 times. I I think one of the best shows I've seen of them was the one they did at Del Mar Hall.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was really good with them and Death Angel.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
probably
that was
4
a
years
really
ago.
good show. Yeah. Yep.
I seen them in Milwaukee Metal Fest. Not this past one, but 2024.
They are always fun to watch.
Dee Dee's hilarious, or not Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Blitz is hilarious on
Blitz
stage.
is wild.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I remember he had that one line that whenever we saw him at Pops that one time, and he was just up there riffing in between songs, and he goes, we've been playing since the 50s.
Yeah, he's always a smart ass, man. I bet he's fun to party with, dude.
I'm sure he is. And he even had a stroke on stage in his nose. Of all the weird things.
Yeah.
Because he talked about it on stage that one time when I saw him. So
you could see, too, his nose is all fucked up.
Yeah, he's had something done to it. And I'm just glad it didn't really do much on his voice.
Right.
Because that could severely change
Speaking of his voice, he's got one of the most unique voices
Absolutely.
Ever.
Yeah.
When you hear
and that's what I was saying. It took me a while to get used to his voice because it's different. It's so different. But now it's so ingrained in me that it's like I love his voice now, man.
Oh yeah.
But when you play it to a brand new person who's not really in the metal, most of them are like, "Ugh, what is that?" Yeah. But you know, it's just you've normalized it.
Yeah, they're like
right. Yeah, he. Just gotten used to him over the years.
Yeah, and
imagine him singing for somebody else, though. You know,
can't see it.
I don't think it'd fit with anything else. You know, that fucking Overkill's been so fucking fast and driving. You know, they're just. Yeah.
I saw a picture of Blitz from like the earliest days of the band, and I don't know if the date was accurate, but it said Overkill 1978, and he was like holding on to like a metal candle thing, like with like the candles that come across.
He had a cape back in there,
and he had like the eyeliner going, but it was almost like Alice Cooper eyeliner, not exactly the same, but it was horror.
Whole image and stage show in the early days,
and it was cover band at the time, but it was all horror based.
Oh, okay.
So, but they kind of moved away from that pretty quick, I gather, you know.
Right.
I think that's when Dan Spitz was probably in the fold or something. Because he was in the band before they ever got signed and then never made a record with them because he was in Anthrax by that point. And Anthrax, I think their first record's 84. So, and he'd been playing with them for a year before that, so do the math. Don't know if the 78's accurate, but at least that's what the picture claimed.
Gerald read the bio, it said 80, but you never know.
That's what I'm saying.
Things are... It could have been like our old... We used to jam together and played some covers, and then we, like the early days, and it wasn't officially,
Wow. So I just read... I went over to Bobby's page, and it was in 1998, Ellsworth was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of nose cancer and underwent immediate surgery, which successfully removed the tumor. Ellsworth had a focal seizure in Germany in June of 2002, right in the middle of the song Necroshine. He commented, "The beauty of a stroke is that you don't remember. I don't know what it changed because I forgot how it used to be." Well, occasionally I piss my pants when somebody turns a microwave on.
That's so Blitz.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious, dude. Oh, I was trying to find like if I could see like early band stuff from him, but I don't really see anything.
Yeah. I've never heard of him being with anyone else either.
Yeah. Well, you had talked about this cover band that he was in.
Well, but they were going by the name Overkill.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I'm saying.
The actual... was it maybe Overkill L.A.?
I didn't see an LA listed,
No.
and I doubt New Jersey would put LA there. Those guys are too proud of
I
that.
thought it was like there was a band called like Overkill, like SA or something.
You're thinking of the Slayer SA.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well,
You're right.
It says Overkill L.A. or SST Overkill was a hardcore punk speed metal band started in 1980 in Los Angeles, and they
I
recorded
didn't know there
2
was another
records
Overkill.
on SST Records. Yeah, there was another Overkill. It was called Overkill L.A.
There's that alternative band that made famous called Urge Overkill. Had a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. But yeah, so looking at this album, what's your favorite song on the album?
Thanks for Nothing.
Pick 3.
Thanks for Nothing. Thanks for Nothing. Thanks for Nothing.
Okay.
No,
Thanks for Nothing is a great song.
No, I'd probably put A New Machine would be number 2.
Yeah.
And then probably either Coma or Nice Day for a Funeral.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
You know, for me, I'm with you. Thanks for Nothing. I love the guitar work in Bare Bones. New Machine, phenomenal song. Probably my favorite, of course, is going to be Horoscope. But
they're all good.
You know,
it's not a bad track on this album.
The reason why Bare Bones, the reason why I like it so much is because of that creepy intro to it.
Piano.
Yeah. You know, they use that creepy intro to the beginning of that, and then
I love the guitars too.
Yeah, and then it pulls in the middle of the song too. Yeah.
That's all a little quick
just a fucking cool song, man. But like I said, there's nothing bad on this album, dude.
It's a great album.
You know,
every song. If I had to pick 3, probably be Thanks for Nothing, Horoscope, and New Machine.
Yeah,
absolutely. But every song is great. So.
Yeah, everything is, you know, and it's really weird. Like even when you look at Solitude, you know, the way they start that song, you know, so it's like, oh, this is not Overkill at all, you know. But then once it builds up and takes off, it's like, oh shit, yeah, okay, I see where they're going here, you know.
Well, and they had a history before this of doing that final track, just calling it Overkill and putting a number after it. And it's like always the slow, different one. And they didn't do that on this. They called it Solitude. But it could have been easily called Overkill, whatever the number is at that point.
Overkill 5.
Yeah.
4. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
There's like 6 last I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, but, you know,
they put them throughout
they've kind of spread them out a bit more in recent years.
Right. But, excellent album, man. I highly recommend it. If you haven't listened to this in a long time, go out and get yourself a copy and crank it.
If you're a thrash metal fan or a heavy metal fan in general, this album, you'll love it. This is such a great album, and I think it's an underrated album.
Yeah.
By the way, we were talking about sales earlier. I was just looking at this. SoundScan started in 92, and this came out in 91. So, according to what it's showing here on Wikipedia, it says they've sold over 120,000 copies in the U.S. So I'm wondering how much more that's inflated because it started right before SoundScan. If they're saying this is their best-selling release. So these guys never had a gold record, or even close to it. I'm sure they didn't sniff it with this one either. And that's 500,000.
Like, none of the records have ever reached gold, like, over all the years, throughout the years.
That's crazy.
It probably could, but you have to spend money for the accounting to go back and check all that.
And look
it's
at
expensive.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you have 20 records, unless you're Metallica, you just can't afford to justify that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, AC/DC gets Back in Black recertified like every 5 years. For good reason. It's selling $1 million a year. They can afford it. It's a write-off, and they're AC/DC. And that thing sold like 25, 30 million copies last I checked. They want that badge, you know.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Black Album from Metallica.
Absolutely.
It's not so much.
Yeah. I thought it was cool. Promo singles were released for Coma and Infectious, while the cover version of Frankenstein got airplay on modern rock stations, most notably KNAC-FM in Los Angeles. Despite never being released as singles, there were music videos for Horoscope and Thanks for Nothing, both of which received airplay on MTV's Headbangers Ball.
I don't know if I ever saw the Thanks for Nothing one.
Me neither.
I don't think I did either.
But yeah, Thanks for Nothing. I don't think I've ever seen that one either.
I just always liked that one because that one had a real good groove to it. That's why it was always my favorite.
Yeah.
Plus, it's actually in drop D, which is one of their first songs that they ever did in drop D.
Yeah.
You know, half the songs on this record are, I think, dropped, and the other half aren't. But they're all,
banger, man.
That sounds like some shit we'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's a fun song to play too.
Great fucking album, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Highly recommend this.
Yeah, so go out and buy it.
Yes, a physical copy, you pricks.
Get it on cassette.
Pirate it. Buy it.
Poses. Yeah, no shit.
Buy it. But hell yeah. Overkill Horoscope. I love it. All right, fellas. Well, what are we doing? What are we doing next week? Let me see. I just took a screenshot of that. Hold on. What are we doing next week?
So what's the homework?
Because we had a list. Oh, there's a list. That Three-Toed Slut's number 2.
Yes.
Oh. So next week, for your listening
Menudo.
pleasure, Exodus, Bonded by Blood.
Next week, we may even have the same clothes on.
We might.
We might switch shirts.
We might.
Pants.
Underwear.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's the show for tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us while we discuss some Overkill Horoscope.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. If you get a chance, try and you're gonna do like we are. We're gonna listen to Exodus, Bonded by Blood, and we're gonna talk about that. So till next week, guys. Stay metal.
See you next week. Stay metal. Buy physical copies.
Buy physical. Buy physical. Let's get physical. Oh,
Copies.
sorry. All right. See you guys.
Let us.